heat wave up here in Montreal. It is seriously hot. I did not put my air conditioner into the wall properly yet, and we're melting. It's like an oven in here. I just thought I'd stop in and do a little live, like a live drop in. I'm just gonna wait and see who's there. Hi guys. Yeah, I just wanted to stop in and say hi and see what you're up to. And yeah, what's on your mind? I was actually, I was working on a video, and this is why I don't do those videos like I used to. I don't do them very often. I don't mind doing the ones where I'm like out and about and I record while I'm thrifting or doing whatever. But seriously, the ones where like I have to read about the news, I do follow news stories, but the ones where I'm reading about the news, I have to like write kind of a script, and I always go off the script. I ramble a lot, as you can imagine. And then I have to like take all these screenshots and these screen recordings, and then I have to put in the editing. And it is really absolutely grueling, you guys. I know that when you watch a video, it looks like, oh, that looks easy because it's only 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. But behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes into it. And it's just like, it's literally physically grueling. Hi, Lincoln. How are you doing? How did your surgery go? You must have had it by now. Let me know how that went. Yeah, it is absolutely grueling. I have 2 laptops. There's something wrong with this one. If I transfer files onto my drive while it's plugged into this one, it'll disappear the files. And also I can't render on here. I can edit, but I can't render. But then if I like if I work on it here and then I move the file there, maybe it'll disappear. So it's, oh my God. And then that one, right now it won't connect to the internet. And you want to know where I'm editing videos? Let me show you, because I'm not doing it here. I don't even know where to plug it. Like seriously, it's just logistics. Hi, Olivier. You see that little laptop over there? It's like on my side table. That's where I've been editing, and I've been sitting on like this little plastic footstool, like a stepping stool. I'm sitting there like Gollum editing like this, and it's just, you know what, it's like, it's miserable. It's absolutely miserable. I'm so tired of it. I've been here doing this for so long. It's like, I'm sick of it. I just want to live my life. I want to go out there and do the things that I do in the real world, and I prefer to share that with you. But I was following some stories, and I was like, okay, I'll make a video. Hi, Olivier, and hi, love, nice to see you. Hi, Bella, nice to see you too. Yeah, I mean, you know, am I going to spend my entire life sitting here at this desk? I'm tired of it. I hope you guys don't mind. I figure like those of you who like to hang out with me can stick with me. And the rest, oh well. Because people leave really mean comments. Like I try not to let it get to me, but I've seen these comments where people are like, it was better when you did these short videos. Now you just do these long, rambly lives where you just repeat yourself. And it's like, it's true. They are long. I do repeat myself. But the reason is because I'm trying to focus more on community, like more on, it's not just about me. It's also you guys. I want you to have a place where you can come. And like, we all know each other here. A lot of us that come in the chat, everybody knows everybody by name. They know like what's been going on, you know? So it's a way we can kind of get to know each other and have a little chat here and talk about what's on your mind. And it's not just about me. Like I said, it's more about community. So, okay, I'm glad some of you like the lives, but I know that you guys do, and I do too. I really like coming here and talking to you. But hi, Michelle. But it is hard because I do see people leaving comments about how much my lives suck. Well, I guess it depends what you want to get out of them. And how I should make those short videos. And I was just thinking like, yeah, it's short for you, but it's not short for me. That video that I'm working on right now, it's about the whole Bud Lighting issue, like about these companies making these obnoxiously woke ads that end up having such a backlash. And I'm thinking, I don't want to tell you what I said in the video, but basically I'm thinking not only does it have a backlash on their sales, but it also has a backlash actually on the gay community. And I started looking into this, and it was like a rabbit hole I was going down. And some of the stuff that was in these campaigns, like I'm really libertarian, I'm very open-minded, I really don't care if you're gay, whatever, I don't have any problem with that. You know, but some of the stuff that was in there was so bizarre. They started like overlapping, like it wasn't just pride stuff. There was like literally like references to Satanism and witchcraft. And I was like, well, what do you think is going to happen? what were you thinking to put this in the campaign? Anyway, I don't want to, spoiler alert you now, but I will upload that video probably in 2 days. But it's been like, I've been working on it for like 3 days, 3 days of sitting on that little stool like Gollum, and it just feels like, what for, Yeah, it is my channel. I don't want to let you guys down though, because I know like people say, oh, there's not a whole lot of truth around here. Well, I mean, what am I going to do? There is this phenomenon though where people they kind of clue into some things they didn't know before, and then they start looking for more sort of hidden information to the point where it becomes a kind of an obsession. And when they don't find anything legit, they'll like go for the things that are just kind of gossipy, or they're just not even real, or it's just like, sometimes there's really something to discover, and sometimes you're like digging for it because you just hooked on finding something, finding another hidden fact or something. At this point, I think we know what's going on. I don't want to repeat myself. And I do sometimes repeat in the lives, because I know there's people that come in early and then there's people that come in later. And the people that come in later would ask me the question. Like, I'd talk about my surgery at the beginning of the video, and then halfway through, somebody would show up and be like, how was your surgery? And I didn't feel like not answering. But anyway, you really can't please everyone all the time. The truth community has changed so much. Now it's political gossip. The politics is just such nonsense. Like, I don't even care anymore. I think it's all rigged. I've told you this before. Yes, I'm repeating myself, but I think it's just all complete BS, and it's all rigged, and I think I know what they're up to, and I'd rather like fully enjoy my life while I can. I'm healing very well. I feel like I'm pretty much completely healed. Like, there's no more issues. So Lincoln had a surgery for hyperhidrosis under the arm. And so how are you doing, Lincoln? How's that? How did it go? Did it go well? I hope you got some relief. What is the solution for making my uploads and editing easier for me? Well, for one, it would be to have a better computer, because this is a more powerful computer, but it's very buggy, and I don't want to blame Aaron, but when I got it, it came with Windows 10. And I was fine with Windows 10, but Aaron hates Windows 10, and he took it off and put like a crack version of Windows 7 on here. And I think it's buggy. Like, I think part of the problem is it's my operating system, but I have like everything on my big laptop. So he says he could take it and fix it. I'm not sure. Is it going to come back fixed or not? I don't really know, but he's pretty good with computers. But the thing is, like, everything is on here. So if I give it to him, then I'm screwed, because that little one, it won't even connect to the internet now. And it's so small, like it's just this little, and I did use that one while I was in Europe. And man, I don't know, like, I guess it would be better. Maybe he did mess it up. I don't know. Like, Aaron fixes computers, but he also breaks them. I hope he won't hear me say that, but he probably won't, because he never watches my lives. He fixes things and he breaks them. And Aaron, actually, something really awful happened to him. This was terrible. You guys know he's really into singing and karaoke, and he had written all these songs, and over the years he had like put them together using sorry, I'm like reading the comments at the same time, using a program like Cubase, so he managed to like find all the instrument sounds he wanted, and he basically like put the whole thing, he built it from the ground up using computer. And then after working on this for 10 years, he had it all on this drive, and then one morning the drive was dead. It just died, and it took all his work with it, took it all to the grave. So he basically lost like all this work that he'd been doing. He says he has the MIDI files that he recorded of the instruments, but he would have to like put it all back, and there were probably about like a dozen songs. So he was sorry, rabbit hair. He was incredibly discouraged, as you can imagine. Imagine, like, it's like your body of work, it's your legacy, and it's something so meaningful to you, and then it just disappears. So yeah, we have computer problems. And I just bought this computer like a couple of years ago, and I don't really feel like I need another. I don't want to spend more money, you guys. I just spent a lot of money. I spent so much money on my travel, and Yeah, I spent a lot of money lately, and I'm trying to make money, not spend it. So I'm trying to just like work around this issue. Anyway, yeah. But it's just making it harder for me. I mean, also the simple solution would be to take that thing and bring it over here. Ah, whatever. I think I'm just tired of it. I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with me. I'm just tired. There's something wrong with me. I'm not right. Sorry, guys. Now that this channel used to be like a channel where you could watch me like talk about news and how the world was was on the path of destruction, and now you can just watch me like destroy myself, or not destroy myself, but you can just watch my destruction as I get old and decrepit, like fall apart. Just come on for the ride, you know. Yeah, I'm just like, since I had my surgery, I don't have any pain anymore, and I'm very grateful, but I'm very, very tired. Like my chronic fatigue is not better, and I'm really disappointed. So sorry if I sound a bit like, what's the name for that? I don't know, like gloomy or whatever. But yeah, I'm disappointed. Like I'm not, it's not better. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired all the time. I feel like I've been hit on the head. Yeah, no more pain, but I feel like I've been hit on the head, and I just cannot get my energy up. I take B12. I do what I can, but it's just like the plug has been pulled. Like you guys know, it's like for the last 10 years it's been like that, and it just, I'm on hormones, I'm on B12, I'm doing all those things, but it's just hard, man. It's really hard. I have to like push myself to do anything, so I don't have the energy to do like I used to on here, and I'm sorry I make shitty content now. It is what it is, you know. But I mean, hopefully we can still have something going on here. I mean, like, it's partly motivation, and honestly, not like for the fatigue outside of here, but okay, thanks, Olivier. I guess you can see I was a bit discouraged with the comments I'd been getting lately. I was like, oh my God, my content sucks and whatever. You know, you have to like accept. Oh my God, it's so hot. You guys, we're having a heat wave. I'm just absolutely melting. It's so hot. You know what, you guys, I sometimes really suspect that it's my building, that there's something about this building. I really don't know. And this is what happens when people get chronic illness and nobody can tell them what's wrong. They start like grasping at straws and trying to figure out if it's this or it's that. Like, you know, obviously, like I said, B12, like people will say, maybe it's your B12, maybe it's your zinc, maybe it's this, but we don't know. I've tried so many things and nothing gets better. And I've even thought maybe it's this building. Like maybe there's something about this apartment that maybe I have an allergy to something, because it's not just me. Aaron is tired all the time. Even Gunnar, like Gunnar doesn't feel good. He almost never gets to school. He's probably going to fail this year, most likely. And I wonder if there's like mold or something, because I was better when I was in Europe. I wasn't so tired. Yeah, Bella, maybe it is mold. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. It's an old building and my apartment is not renovated. And yeah, I don't know. I felt better when I wasn't here though. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure it out one day. But it's like, you know, when you're not well, it's like you don't have the energy to like, it's hard to put all the energy into like solving the problem. Clean the air ducts. Yeah, you know what, Bella? I never even thought about the air ducts. Yeah, air ducts. They never clean the air ducts. This building is so bad, and I wouldn't even know like where to start, like how to get help. The city came here and ordered the landlord to repair my apartment, and he didn't even do it, even after they ordered it. If you go, there's this thing I came across when I was always looking at the COVID statistics, and it was about like apartments that had been condemned, like, or yeah, where the city came in and were like, this is unacceptable. And there were like a number of them. The first ones on the list, it's my building. My building was one of the absolute worst. It was a slumlord. He sold it now to like this big company, and they're cleaning everything up. But the old guy who was here, he would do anything he could to avoid repairs. And so when this chart came up, and I was like, oh my God, my building, like there's several apartments from my building right at the top of the list. This building was so not taken care of. I told you before, there's asbestos, and they would like do renovations and they don't even have a permit. In fact, one of my neighbors told me that I don't know how he found this out, or he heard it, or somebody else heard the guy, but the owner of this building was like bragging about how to do repairs without getting a permit. They just skirt around it. And the neighbor upstairs, he lives on the 15th floor, and there's a duct that brings all the air from the whole building, and then like it all goes up to his floor. And he said every day there was like piles of like this dusty stuff. He thinks it's the asbestos from the repairs, and he's having like trouble breathing, and it's like there's nothing you can do. These people are so wealthy, like they're so rich, they can afford these lawyers that we can't afford, and it's like there's no one who's going to help us, you know. And I know everybody said, why don't you just move? But yeah, that's because of, yeah, I think this building is kind of really messed up. But the problem is, I've told you before, it's because of Aaron's situation. Like, it's very hard for somebody who's, oh, I don't want to repeat myself, but okay, imagine, first of all, you're severely disabled, you're in a wheelchair, you're on a fixed income, you have a rent subsidy that makes things more manageable, but you lose it if you move. In the meantime, the price of housing has gone up, and it's very hard to find a building that is accessible and where they're going to rent to you, you know. And then on top of that, I have to stay right next to him and as his caregiver. I mean, really, it's just complicated. It's like, you know, you have plans in life, but sometimes it doesn't work out. We've brainstormed about it, and we were always just like, if I moved, would I pay extra? Absolutely. Aaron's rent is like really, really low. I mean, he's on disability, which here it's like you get like $1,500 a month. Most apartments now are like more than that, even just for the rent. Like if he got an apartment, it would be 15 just for the rent itself. So he has a rent subsidy on top of his rent, which is not so high. It is complicated. It's always really easy to look at someone else and be like, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? And then you're in the situation, you're like, no, actually, sometimes it's really complicated. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, he doesn't want to move. People have said to him, like, move to, I don't know, subsidized housing or somewhere else, but it's complicated. It's a lot less complicated for me. I mean, I could, you know, move to a completely different neighborhood. I have a car. I'm pretty much able-bodied. I mean, relatively, right? Like, it's not like with him. I could move, but then I wouldn't be next to him, and he needs me. Because who's gonna put him back in bed if he falls out of bed in the middle of the night? Like, we have to be right next to each other. It just gets complicated. So anyway, yeah, I think it might be this apartment. Because yeah, I was okay in Europe. I don't mean to repeat myself, but yeah. Your mom and dad paid $6,500 for your house. Yeah, it was in the 90s. You could really still afford to buy a house in Montreal. Now it's yeah, like the rents have gone way up. And in this building, he'll renovate the empty apartments, but he will not renovate the ones that are occupied. And I thought he was just being an asshole, but I realized it's because of the asbestos. You literally can't even do that when you're when you have somebody in the apartment. Like, you can't even do that. Ask for better living situation. Well, yeah, ask God, you know. I don't know. I don't have like the mental energy to like cope with it, honestly. I'll be honest with you. Like, I can't even deal with it. I can barely just like deal with all the stuff yes, I need a sugar daddy. Olivier has nailed it. I need a sugar daddy. Please. Somebody. I can't. I just like deal with taking care of Aaron, taking care of my mom, taking care of Gunnar, and then I'm supposed to also like single-handedly reorganize our entire living situation. I can't do it. I don't have it in me. It's too much, you know? So I'm just, I don't know. I figure eventually something will happen. It's not going to be like this forever. Wouldn't that suck if it was? I mean, we do like our apartment, but I mean, I like my apartment. He likes his apartment, but I don't know if it's the building, but I kind of suspect it. But anyway, yeah, all this to say, like, I'm so tired all the time. I'm so tired. I have a really hard time like getting things done. I wish there was just like a pill I could take that would like fix me, you know, give me more energy. But yeah. And it's weird because it's me and Gunnar and Aaron. No, I don't have to move. No. Okay. See, people complain that I repeat myself, but okay, he's on disability. So there's this like discriminatory law in Quebec. If you're on disability and you're married to someone who isn't, you lose your disability. You don't get any money. They have to support you. But the thing is, like, I'm not on disability, but I do have a disability. And my main source of income is my work as his caregiver. Now, if we get married and we move together, like he loses his disability and I lose my pay to take care of him, I'd still have to do it, but I wouldn't get paid for it. So that would mean I'd have to do what? Take care of him and my kid, and also like get some kind of full-time job outside the house and support everyone. I mean, come on, it's not realistic. The more likely what would happen if we got married is we'd all end up on welfare, and I would not do that. There's no way. No, I don't make enough to support everyone. I mean, I'm not superhuman. Everybody's always like, why don't you just get married? I wish we could. Well, here's the thing. Okay, he's 63 now. When he turns 65 and he's no longer on disability, he's on retirement, then he can get married and he will not lose his disability. So if he's not on, if he still has his retirement income and we get married, even if I lose my pay as his caregiver, at least he has something, and then, you know, we can sort of both contribute. But if it was all me, like, what am I supposed to do? And now at a time like this, I'm like too old to even do OnlyFans. Oh, it's like impossible. Well, yeah, we were kind of hoping that when he's 65, we'll see. I'm hoping that there'll be a way and like we can get married, you know. Yeah, like when people say, what about being a real estate agent, or what about being this or that? Like, don't forget, I already have an education. I have a university degree. I have a CJEP diploma, a university degree, and basically a teaching certificate as well. I have I have an education. I just can't really use it because I'm a caregiver, you know. You can't really do both. Like, if you ever end up in this situation, you'll see it is complicated, but whatever. I mean, you know, I love Aaron, and it's because of him I have my son, so I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying the apartment, though, I think it's like maybe it's making us tired, but whatever. Yeah, it's a lot of bureaucracy. Yeah, I know there's not enough space in Aaron's apartment for us to move in. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Well, yeah, Mud Chat. So as you know, I'm trying to build a retail empire. I'm trying, but you guys, you see the picture of like why it's difficult. I can't just like go and that's only part of it. Like, go and get some other job. It's complicated, and I thought about it a lot, and like, what can I do? And I'm really, really interested in certain things like mid-century art, decorative arts. And the fact is, I'm just so obsessed and passionate about it, and it's like the only thing I always really have the energy for. So I'm trying to, like, you know, make like a stream of income by reselling. And you know what? It's been going better. I don't want to jinx it, but like, this has been a pretty good week. Like, it seems like it's getting better, you know? So I'm kind of excited. I'm hoping my sales will come through because I have some that are lined up, hopefully. And yeah, like, I'll be emptying out like a good section of that cupboard. Actually, it's the books. I may have found someone who wants to buy a lot of my comic books because they're actually really good quality. They're almost completely perfect. And I have all these graphic novels and like rare ones too. And, you know, you have to be patient. This is what I'm realizing. Like, if you want to resell, it is better if you have a ton of stuff out there and you're willing to just be patient. If you put up 25 things and you're waiting for them to you think they're going to all sell like in a week, or you're going to buy something, it's going to sell right away. Sometimes not. Like, I bought a pair of Adidas. They were so gorgeous. They were from 2011. And I bought them and they were sold like in 2 days. I mean, I made $35. I didn't sell them for very much because they were used and whatever. I could have asked for more, but it doesn't really matter. Sometimes I just want the turnover, you know? I mean, I could ask more. Like, I have other shoes and things that I'm asking like $100 or $200 for, and it might take a lot longer, you know? But like, seriously, when people see something like a really unusual pair of Adidas, even if they're worn and the soles are worn, but they're a really good price, people will be like, oh, I don't want to miss that, you know? So some things will sell quickly, but a lot of things are going to take a long time. Old Archie and Betty and Veronica, no, mine are not old. They're like from the 2010s. I have graphic novels, but I have somebody who wants to buy them now. I did not put them on Poshmark because they take too much of a cut, you know, and I still want like $10 per book. I could show you, like, I have, if you're interested. Oh, hey, Robin. Oh my God, it's Robin. She's Town Vintage on Poshmark. So we're like Poshmark friends now. That's Nicky Neko. She changed her username. Okay, I'm really happy to see you there. Were you there before? Maybe I hope I didn't just like miss you before. Yes, you have 400 items. Okay, cool. I'm wondering like how are you getting so many sales? Because I noticed that you seem to be getting a lot. And I don't know if are you buying things and you just really know what people want, or you think it's because you have a lot of stuff. I'm not really sure. I'd like to know. Or are you on Instagram? Like, tell me what your secret is. Um, I'm putting up more things, but I'm still selling way more on Marketplace than on. I had another sale on Poshmark today. I mailed something, but they take quite a chunky cut, you know. But I'm still selling more on Marketplace, like I said. So, but yeah, okay. So Town Vintage. Let me show you what I bought from her. Hold on a second. She bought this adorable little suitcase. I had found this thing and I just had to grab it. It was like vinyl and it was kind of atomic age. Like it had the little metal things that were shaped kind of like, you know, like this with the, anyway, it was really, really cute. And it was a perfect overnight bag. Like I checked it myself. You could put your nightie, your slippers, and your cosmetics bag and your dressing gown, and you know, you just enough for overnight. It was so nostalgic. It was like, you know, the little overnight bag, like you have to go stay at your aunt's or something or whatever, or you're going somewhere for just one night. And I loved that bag, you know, but I put it up. I didn't really put it up for very much, but I'm really happy that it went to Robin because she's going to enjoy it. And so then I bought something from her, which was this dress, which kind of like, what do you guys think? It kind of has like Amish vibes almost. Okay, I know it looks like very, very conservative, but sometimes I like that kind of look. I liked it in the picture, and I really, really love the pattern because it's got little roses, and I love this turquoise color, so I bought it, but I'm a little too chunky for this thing. Like, we measured, but it's tight here, you know? It's really like at the limit. I can get into it, but let me say, like, I can get into it, but the sleeves, it's my chunky arms, the ones that I said it didn't bother me, that fat arms, but it's this, the sleeves are so small that like it's hard to move my arm around. But it's, yeah, man, it's like it's not Amish though because it's way too short. It's like, you guys can see it here. Look, I'll move over here. Where is it? You see it? Okay, it's like just under the knee, which is cool. Oh, you love the bag. I'm so glad, Robin. I'm so glad that you have it because I know you'll enjoy it. I was just sort of storing things in it, but realistically, I never go anywhere overnight where I just need an overnight bag. I always overpack and I just use my luggage, so it's better you have it. Um, so yeah, I love the pattern and the color, and I like this like Little House on the Prairie style. But yeah, I'm just chunky, and because like what I didn't realize is the waist, it's like this, and then it's a gathered waist. So then it really like, it makes me look a little pregnant, you know, makes me look a little chunky, like chunky-er. So then I was like, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Do you think I should like try to alter it by like trimming the sleeves because they're so tight? Like I was thinking I could strategize, like if I could cut the sleeve like this and make a little hem, and it would just be like a sort of just a little edge of a sleeve there. I can sew, like I think I could pull it off. Well, no, I'm not like chunky, like, you know, like complaining, but let's just say for the dress. The dress is a large, and I'm probably an extra large. I don't know. Usually I wear things that have a little stretch on them, you know? That's why I asked, like, does it have stretch? It doesn't have stretch, but I like the pattern so much. I put it on and Aaron left, and he said, well, you look kind of frumpy with, you know, it's like a Little House on the Prairie, but I like the style, and I thought it would be cute with like some like Doc Martens shoes. But if I put it on over this, you'll see. But let me tell you what Robin did, okay? So she sent me this. You like the dress, my chat? Thanks. Tell me if you think that I should alter it. What do you think, Robin? I mean, I don't want to reposh it. I want to keep it. Yeah, with docs, it's like, it's kind of punk rock. It's like punk rock granny. That's what I like about it. But it needs something. There's something, you know what? If it was looser on me and it was like hanging, it would be really cool. It would be very kind of 90s, but because it really fits me, then the skirt like really goes like this, you know? But let me know what you think about me altering it. But look what Robin did. She sent me this. It's so cool. You guys know I love thermoses. She sent me this. It's a disco thermos. Like it's like mayhem in the disco. They look like they're having a disco brawl. It's pretty cool. I was so excited. I would never ever sell this. This is my thermos. Like people are obsessed with Starbucks cups. I like thermoses. I think they're way cooler. Oh, it smells like coffee. So this is good for coffee. I mean, why Starbucks? This works for me, man. This is gonna be my cup that I'm gonna take on the go. Thank you so much, Robin. I couldn't believe, I was like, oh, when I opened it, I was like, oh, there's a dress. And I was like, oh my God, thermos. And it's so beautiful. It's cool, eh? Disco. Plus, she also sent me this. She put, because it was heavy when I got the box. I was like, how come it's so heavy? It's only a dress. Yeah, you think I should take the sleeve? I could do it. I think I could. I think I could pull it off. I could pull that off. An alteration spot would widen the sleeves. Oh, I need it like much wider. Like I would have to like open the whole thing. I can do that kind of stuff myself. Like if it's just a question of like opening the seam and redoing it, I can do that. I don't need somebody to do it for me. But it wouldn't be enough. It's not anywhere near enough. Like the sleeves really, I think they have to go. And I don't really want to have like big puff sleeves. But yeah, she sent me these really cool glass beads, which I love. You guys know I like to do beading stuff. So thank you for that also. They're so cool. Just keep looking at them. And also, oh, where is it? Robin is an artist. Go check her out. I mean, I don't know if she has any content on here right now, but she's at Our Town Art on Instagram. Our Town Art. She has this business card, and this is the art she made. She sent me this picture. Look how cool it is. It's so cool. It reminds me of like a little it reminds me of like Germany or something. Actually, also like California redwood, really tall forest, but it's like the little Hexenhäuschen in the woods. Yeah, thanks from the Thermos Nerd. That was really awesome. I just sent her an Anita calendar as a free gift. She sent me a thermos. It was very cool. But look at her nice card that she made. It's so beautiful. I really love this. I can't send this to someone as a postcard. No, this is like art. I'm gonna put this up somewhere. So yeah, on Poshmark, she's Town Vintage. So you do at Town Vintage, and you're gonna find her stuff. She's got a lot of cool stuff. And on YouTube, she's Town Vintage 2 now. And on Instagram, Our Town Art. That's Robin Town. So yeah, I'm gonna maybe take the sleeves off. I mean, you know, if I feel like spending my time sewing, I think it's probably worth it. I kind of feel like putting it on so you can see what it looks like. But over this dress, it's gonna be really, really tight, but I really want to show you. It's like, I look like Holly Hobby. See, the problem is just here with the gathered skirt. What do you think? It's not the kind of thing I would normally wear. It is kind of 90s though, I think. I didn't zip it up. It has a zipper in the back. Wait, can I even zip it? So there. It's not bad, right? Oh, it's not zipped all the way, but it's cute. What do you think? It's just when I do this, I feel like I'm going to be like, huh! I'm going to crack these sleeves, but look how cute it is. Erin was like telling me I look frumpy because of the waist, but I think it's cute. Oh no, Erin's. Sorry, Erin's calling me during the live. Oh, I got rabbit hair in my nose again. So what do you think? Look how cute it is. Come on, you guys. There's something about the style. I love the color. It reminds me of like Laura Ashley. It's kind of 90s, isn't it? It's kind of punk rock. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it by altering the sleeves. Maybe if I just shorten them a little bit, I'd solve the problem without destroying it. Tell me what you think. Yeah, 1890s. Yeah, you're right. But I like it. I like that. Yeah. Oh, I'm happy with it. Gunnar, could you call Daddy, please?
He's on the phone.
No, I'm doing the live.
Oh, what do you want?
I don't know what he wants. He's the one who called me.
Oh.
The modem's fine. So hot.
He wants you to move the modem, make sure it's facing his direction.
Okay. It is. It's fine. So, yeah, you guys like the dress? A little black fitted jacket. Well, not in this heat, that's for sure. Well, it's cute. You think it looks okay on me, Robin? It's only just the sleeves that's a bit tight. What's that film when that guy tied to... Oh, you're talking about Misery, Claire. The film where she smashes his legs. I think that was Misery. With, what's her name? I'm not sure who was in that movie. Frumpy looking lady. Anyway, if I feel like having like an 1890s look, it's gonna be my go-to. Yeah, you put that with like a cute little pair of dock shoes or something. Like I have all these little, I'll show you one. I have all these like kind of little Doc Martens shoes. They're all starting to fall apart though. Like this, wait, somewhere, oh, the other one. They're starting to like come apart at the seams, but they're so cute. So I think this would be really nice with that dress. But yeah, maybe, okay, one more time. I'm gonna take a little poll. Do you think that I should shorten the sleeves? Let me know what you think. You tell me. And the other thing was, since we were talking about thermoses, I don't know if I've ever showed you, have I really showed you my thermoses? I'm starting to list them now. Like I bought all the thermoses, I collected them. I've enjoyed having them, but now I'm starting to list them. Yeah, Kathy Bates, that was it. Shorten the sleeve, yeah. Yeah, I'm putting a lot of effort into like trying to sell stuff because I realize that's probably my best bet, you know. And well, if I can make it work, then that helps, you know. More options. Little cap sleeves, yeah, like just like little sleeves like that. It's not gonna ruin it. I don't really want those sleeves on there. I don't know, I have to think about it. I'm gonna sleep on it. But you guys let me know. I wanted to show you my thermoses. She was wearing the same dress? Kathy Bates was wearing that dress? That's funny. So that's my Misery dress then. That's okay. Oh, not even hem it? Oh, then you'd ruin the dress. Oh no. No, I could do some hemming on it. I could probably cut it and then use the trimmed part like to put on it and then fold it over and use that as a hem. You know, like the way you hem a jeans where you cut the jeans and you put it like on the outside like that and you sew it and then you roll it in and then you do another hem so that's like double hemmed. Oh, you want to see thermoses? Oh, it'd be my pleasure, my absolute pleasure. Yay, somebody wants to see them. Okay, great. Here, I have them mostly in this container. Okay, I'll start with the, I'm sorry, I have like a rabbit hair right here. If you ever a meet and greet, I'm coming to Montreal. I just don't think there's enough people who come and want to meet and greet me. Like maybe 10 years ago it would have been a thing, but like now, I don't know. Like just come up to Montreal, let me know. I'm not the kind of person who doesn't want to meet my audience, you know. Like there's YouTubers out there. Like I watch this guy, what's his name? He has a few channels, Fascinating Graveyard and Lamont. I watch Lamont. Kind of getting sick of his attitude though. I can imagine like what it'd be like to be in a relationship with him though. So yeah, I've heard him say like he doesn't meet up with people unless they're paying for everything. Like he wouldn't go to lunch unless you were paying his lunch. I mean, I guess maybe that's the best attitude to have for if you want to be successful. I don't know, but he's like he just doesn't meet people unless they're giving him something. I don't operate that way. If I'm interested and I want to meet you, I'll just meet you. I don't expect anything. I find it kind of weird, you know. I guess he has a different relationship with his audience than I have. Like he has a lot more people on there now. He's like 500,000. Whereas, and he hasn't been there that long. Whereas I've been here a long time and like I kind of gotten to know some of you, and I would feel very weird if I was like, yeah, I'll meet with you, but you have to pay for my lunch or take me shopping. Like you all have to be my sugar daddies now. I wouldn't do that. I would just I'd just meet you, you know. Do I watch any other YouTubers from Montreal? No, I mostly just watch like crime stuff. Prostitution, yeah, Olivier. It did seem a bit there. It was a bit, yeah. Like he has this one channel. It's called Black Bigelow, and sometimes he'll say Black Bigelow Male Gigolo. But then when he was like, yeah, if I'm gonna meet you for lunch, you're gonna pay for my food. I was like, you are a gigolo. I don't know, man. Usually when people do meet and greets, it's more structured. Like they'll be like, I'm gonna be at this place and you all can show up and I'll give you autographs or whatever they do. Take pictures with me and we hang out and then that's it. Whereas this is very personal. Like you're going to lunch with someone, but you want them to pay for your lunch, then yeah, it is a bit. It is a bit gigolo, it's true. Anyway, whatever. So this is, oh wait, no, this is the most recent thermos. This is from the 90s. So it is a vintage thermos. It's probably the most boring one I have. But I got it with a lot. And you know what though? Yeah, it was this shape. Could it be 80s? No, the ones with the see-through top, I think they're 90s. I had one that was like cream. It was cranberry red, like a cranberry pink red and a white top. And it sold really, really fast. And this is just like a regular, let's see what's inside. I think it's plastic. Yeah, it's a thermos, but it's one of these, you know? Ugh. Trying to close it. Anyway. So that's the 90s one. Okay, I like this one. This one's 80s. It's got like a real square shape, and it's like an olivey kind of moss green color. I can't believe how much people pay for this online. There's people who buy these things for like, I don't know, 35, 40 bucks on Etsy. I mean, it is a really nice thermos, but I'm not sure what's so, I think it's the color. I think it's the fact that it's really hard to get this kind of color now and this size. Wait. It smells a bit plastic. Huh. I just have to wash it or something. But yeah, so that's a big food jar. And then there's these. These are Aladdin. And they're from the 70s. The moss green ones, you'd buy one if you're hipster in college. Yeah, it's like a thing. Like some people really like to have the old style and I guess that color too. What would be an event? What if I like had you all show up at the mall? Yeah, I would totally do that. It would be cool. But I live in a different country than most of you. That's the problem. Like if I lived in the States, it would probably be easier. I mean, there's 31 people in the chat here. How many of you would show up in Montreal? Well, I can have a meetup with Olivier. Olivier, I'm officially scheduling a meetup for next week. But see, like Olivier was just in my audience, and then he became my moderator because I knew I could trust him, and then I actually met with him. So now we're like sort of friends. I've been trying to make a video with Olivier because he makes this fire cider. I wanted to make one with him, but we're just trying to organize ourselves. Tomorrow I'm going thrifting with my buddy Isabel, looking for clothes for Aaron, but I'll probably buy some glass if I find any. But yeah, look, I have a set. I have the whole set. Oh, I'd love to meet you, Love. I'd love to meet all you guys. I can't imagine making you pay to meet me. That sounds crazy. I'd be so happy to meet you. You're like my online friends. So yeah, I have the set. And The only issue I have is that the middle one is a bit faded, but they're pretty nice. I might like keep an eye out for another one. You know, I saw one the other day and I was like, Sonia, don't buy it. You have too many thermoses. And then I left and I was like, I should have bought it. And I should have bought that Volcom bag too. I kind of regretted it. But yeah, this is a really cool little set. Because it's got the drink thermos, the big food thermos, and then like this would be, you know, maybe your, like, I don't know, your General Tao, and this would be your rice. And then your drink goes in here. That's a pretty cool little set. So I haven't listed them yet. It's like I'll buy them and I'll keep them around for a while. Soups, but yeah, it could be anything in there. Oh, you're in Ontario. Oh, I'd love to meet you, Robin. You don't even have to pay for my lunch either. I would absolutely love to meet you. Where are you in Ontario? I should know, like, 'cause I made the address label, but I forgot. Is it like closer to Toronto or closer to Ottawa? You know, I want to meet in Ontario too, my friend Vicky. I meant to get out there before, but it didn't work out because I was going to go there, but then I went to Europe instead and I didn't see her. It's not a fetish, Olivia. I just like thermoses. Oh, you're so dirty. I mean, come on, look how big this is. That would be so sick. You're a sick man. You have a thermos fetish. No, it's too big, Olivia, no. Well, it doesn't fit, you know. I mean, it doesn't fit in my fridge. Anyway, yes, so I have these. These are cool. They're from 1964. These are like atomic. Yeah. Olivia's going to try to seduce me when I go to his place. He's going to like bring out the thermoses and stuff. Yeah, so this is cool because I have the big one and then I have the little one. So it's a nice little set. It is dirty. It's true. I know. But I mean, well, no, it isn't really. It's just what your mind did. I told you, it just doesn't fit in my fridge. But anyway, okay, yes. I love the orange ones. And also, this is a really cool color, the blue one. So I have 3. Well, I have another blue one, and that one has a dent on it. So, I mean, I could still sell it, but not for as much. These ones are all perfect. Look how cute they are. Orange and blue. And then the baby one. You're going to do retro thermos hunting? I'm always looking for a thermos. They're so cool. Like I said, why are people so obsessed with Starbucks? And you know what's good with this? And those like Stanley cups or whatever. Stanley though, that's an old brand. These are the best because look what's inside. It's glass. So whatever you put inside, like your drink or whatever, it's not soaking in the BPA from the plastic. It's all glass in there and it's really thermal, you know? So it even, oh, it has an echo too. Yeah. So yeah, I'm always like looking. I have a hard time like parting with these because I'm not really using them very much. But yeah, those were pretty cool. I was happy to find them. And I'm gonna have to sell them. But it's not like I'm eating lunch on the go. Like I just have them. I think that what I would do is I would just keep this one for me for like my coffee when I go out because this is the absolute coolest one. I just have one other one, and this one I am listing. Wait, no, I have another one downstairs. It's the double thermos and with the pump, and it has like the stripes, orange, yellow, and red. List the suckers. Yeah. Well, it's about time. And you know what else, you guys? I listed those great glasses. You know, those mid-century glasses with the cowboys and the belly dancers? I put those up. I decided that's fine. And then I'm going to buy more glasses. Because, yeah, they're more for like a party. I don't really have that many parties. I'll put them up and then I'll have a party and I'll regret it. No, but they're really good and I could get some money from it. I can't just keep all my stuff. I'm going to be like my mom. My mom would buy this stuff and keep it. You know, I don't want to do that. This one, my pride and joy. Oh, like my pride and joy. Get it? Yeah, it really is though. This is a Phoenix. It's not Thermos. It's from Phoenix. And it's got a rainbow on it and a little dent, but it's not so bad. And it's like, it's a pump, you know? It works. So this one I have listed. You guys know why, because it's summer. And you know what that means. So this thermos is now up. It's in good shape. Does it have a pronoun? I don't know. Let's give it a pronoun. What are its pronouns? Um, please make sure, like, as long as it's not a neo pronoun, okay? We'll just say it's a they thermos. It's a gender fluid thermos. So, I mean, I think this could make somebody very happy. You don't know if you could resell it. Why not? It's 80s. It's a really great 80s rainbow thermos. Anyone could buy it. You know, it could just be somebody who likes rainbows, or it could be, it's quite girly. It's very 80s. It's my way of telling you I identify as a thermos. Yeah, it identifies as a thermos. That's the thing, exactly. But yeah, I mean, it is the season, you know. So, I mean, list this in winter. It's a season. It's like the season for picnics and camping and stuff. So, yeah. Like that North Face commercial said, come out in nature with us, right? Come out in nature and drink from your rainbow thermos. I think it's a really great thermos. I think it'd be good for anybody. It doesn't have to be, you know, a gay thermos, right? But it was a total fine, man. It's very unique. I did list it, and we'll see what happens. I'm trying, you know, put my stuff up. I have a few really cool things in my Elga's Bazaar store. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I added some more things. I know you're in the States and you can't buy it, but you should go check it out. Their. Yeah, it's a their thermos. Be good on a little camping trip. My double thermos. What am I drinking? It's my beer. Don't tell my sponsor. Don't tell my pastor either. I'm drinking mouthwash here. I know, this channel's gone to absolute shit. Oh well. Minty fresh. No, it's Brew Doctor. It's kombucha. Getting drunk of that sweet, sweet Listerine. No, look, it says clear mind. I'm drinking it for medicinal purposes to clear my foggy brain. It's with mint, rosemary, sage, and green tea. See, guys, it's wholesome. Yeah. 80s, wasn't it the late 70s, the whole rainbow thing? Huh. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it was the 70s. I don't know, man. It's pretty cool, though. I never seen a thermos like this anywhere else. I couldn't even believe I found it. I managed to buy it. So, oh, hi, Cajun. I'm glad you made it. See, that's why I do these long lives, because you never know who's going to show up. But now I'm going to repeat myself and tell you everything I've already told you. I was just showing everyone my thermoses. Maybe you're going to have to like watch the replay if you want to see the thermoses. It's thermos night. Because it's thermos night and I feel all right. I got my thermos night. Oh, what night. Put my Listerine kombucha in my thermos. I will show you this one. This was sent to me by, well, her name on Poshmark is Town Vintage, but on here it was my Nicky Neko. Remember the one I said I didn't understand your name? She's not here now, I don't think. I'm gonna have to ask her one day. Was it like a Japanese thing or something, you know? But she changed it to Town Vintage. She had some cool stuff on Poshmark. And I bought a dress from her, which I just showed everyone, and she gave me this as a gift, and I was all excited. And I thought I'll show you guys my thermos collection. That's where I'm at, you guys. I went from like talking about, you know, wait, I was about to say the number, and then I was like, wait, don't say that number. You know, 2001, September 2001. I went from talking about that and like interviewing Nobel Prize winners to like collecting thermoses. Oh my God, what a horrible descent. So what's the truther girl doing these days? Collecting thermoses. You know, it reminds me of like a Cheech and Chong. He's got a BA, a BSc, a MA, a PhD, and he's a BMF besides. And what are you doing with all that education, Bob? I'm making table candles, man. I'm collecting thermoses. Yep, that's where we're at. But I'm happy collecting thermoses. Well, I'm not really just collecting thermoses. I'm trying to start like a retail, you know, more of a retail business. Not start. I'm already doing it, but you know how it is. Like, oh hey, Rockstar. Your gas tank fell into the road today. I don't even know how that's possible. You know, like when I started my YouTube channel, I was just like so into it. I really enjoyed making the videos, and I was very fired up about the topics. And I would make 3 videos a week plus a comedy on the weekend. I did radio 3 nights a week. I wrote on my blog at least once a week. Hi Veg Remedy. Oh, hi Jenny too. I did so many things. Like I put a ton of work into it, you know. And so now with the reselling, I know that if I want to make it work, I have to put a lot of work into it. You know, you can't like do something half-assed and then go, well, it didn't work. So it's taking up a lot of my time. And like I told you guys, I'm already tired. I'm tired already as it is. So I can't do everything. And I'm trying to picture myself when I'm older. And also with the environment that is on YouTube, realistically, am I going to be making videos? I'm lucky that I even got to make videos for the time that I did, and that I made money with it at one point. Like that was pretty cool, you know? But it's not something that lasts. So I'm trying to do something different. So I have to put a lot of effort into it, you know? And I'm so into it though. I'm so obsessed. So, oh yeah, I was gonna say before, you guys know I've said before, like I'm on the autism spectrum, even though I know I look so totally normal. Like who knew, right? But apparently, yeah, I'm somewhere on the autism spectrum. And like most people on the spectrum, we tend to have very intense interests. So at one time, I was very interested in the news related stuff I was talking about, and like the natural health related stuff I was talking about, making videos. Now I have a hard time because I feel like, well, everybody knows this already, you know, everybody makes videos about it. Although you can make a new video. It's not like because there's one out there that you can't make another one. But I don't know, I just wasn't as motivated, probably for all those reasons I've told you many times. And my interest seems to have shifted, you know, and that's how I am. Like when I'm into something, I'm like in it, like full on 100%. I was really 100% full on into making videos, but I'm just not that into it anymore. Sorry. And like I made that video, and I told you I spent 3 days editing that thing. And it just really makes me wonder, like, what am I doing this for, you know? I don't think that, I mean, I think there were some points in there that I made that are pretty relevant, but is it going to change the world or whatever? I don't know. Maybe it's worth doing it, maybe not, but I don't feel like I need to tell people what to think or, you know, what to think about. I just don't feel like it. I really just don't care anymore. Like, do what you want. I don't care, you know? I'm much more interested in the collecting and reselling. I'm obsessed, you know? And it's kind of like Aspie obsession level. So that's how it is, you know? And I know there's channels on here where all they talk about is stuff they're buying and reselling. But I know people came here to hear about what's going on in the world, but it's like, sorry, I'm doing something else, you know? And I'm obsessed. No, I've never visited Belize, but my old dealer moved there. That's all I know about it. And now he like runs an online gambling casino. You identify what you're like the same way. Like when you're really into something, like I'm really like full on, like, and I just work so hard. I'm just a worker. That's what I do. Like I just work. I don't really take much time to, I don't know, I don't watch TV. I can't even take a walk outside unless I know exactly where I'm going and what for. Oh, the joints. Oh, those, yeah. Yeah, well, oh, you too, Robin? Oh, really? Your daughter is? Oh, no kidding. Oh, you have a daughter. How old is she? It's really good kombucha. Yeah, I did my part, Pam. Hi, thanks for dropping by, Pam. Yeah, I did my part. I feel like I've paid my dues. I've paid my debt to society. I woke up lots of people. I'm like retired now. But I'm not retired though. I've retired from one thing and I'm like really busting my ass with the other. And you know, I haven't had a lot of sales on Poshmark. I did make a Poshmark ambassador because I have enough sales and I have a lot of shares, you know, and good rating and good shipping time. But I'm not having like a ton of sales. I really want to know your secret, Robin. Like, how do you get so many sales? So there was like one time where I didn't get a sale for an entire month, and I was like, well, I guess nobody's ever gonna buy anything from me again. It was good while it lasted. Thanks, Pam. I appreciate it. That's really some good kombucha. 15 years old, the same age as my son. No kidding. Yeah, my son. Sometimes I feel like I'd like to make some more videos about autism, like raising my autistic teenager. But it's kind of at the point where, you know, when he was little, he's a kid. He first of all, like, however he looks, like, he's not going to look like that when he's older. So nobody's going to know out there. Nobody's going to know who it was who was online. And what I was talking about, what I was dealing with. And yeah, I'm kind of putting his stuff online, but it was like for a good reason, you know. But now I don't know, like, do I want to talk about what he deals with? He still has a lot of struggles. I mean, I only show you like kind of like the positives, but there's a lot of other stuff going on with him. Like, he has a lot of struggles. He has struggles with his health. He has a lot of problems with his joints. And they said he doesn't have hypermobility, but he just had an x-ray on his hip and his back. He had an MRI on a knee. They said he had a torn meniscus, but he's got a problem with the other knee where he's like limping, you know, and he doesn't want to, he'll get the taxi to school, but that's provided. But then, oh, you leaving my chat? Okay, well, it's good to see you. This bracelet, September Cajun. I love these bracelets. I got this one in Poland. I think I got them both in Poland, actually. Or no, did Aaron get me this one? No, Aaron got this one for me here on the plateau. And this one, it's what do you call that? You know, the resin there, amber. It's Polish amber. And this one, it's like a moonstone that Aaron bought me. It was like what we called my engagement ring. It was like a little charm here and a ring. But yeah, Gunner's had a lot of problems. So he would like take the school taxi to school, and then he refuses to leave and take the bus home because he has trouble walking. Like, he's having a lot of problems with his legs. Like, he's really upset. He's like depressed about it. He's having like horrible problems, and he's like upset that, you know, he's so young, and it makes him feel really negative, you know. Yeah, he's getting good on the guitar, and I don't want him to be depressed and feel bad. And I keep telling him, yeah, I had crazy problems with my legs too. My feet used to like really go inward, and since I was very small, you know, my mom was told, oh, you have to do these exercises with her, and she didn't do them. And I always walked really weird. If you guys saw me when I was younger, like my ankles were so caved in. They were like this. Like, my feet were so flat and my ankles were totally like sagged in. And apparently also I walked like really hunched over, and then my knees were like this. So I'm like walking like this. I don't know, like, I don't have any video of it, but apparently my walk was terrible when I was little. Okay, it was nice seeing you, Jenny Rose. Thanks for your prayers. Yeah, mud chat. Yeah, I should take him to physio. I didn't take him before. He's so bloody uncooperative. I figure, what's the point? Yeah, I had to wear special shoes too. You too, Lincoln? Lincoln, are you feeling better since you had your surgery? I'd like to know how it's going. How's your recovery? Your feet were backwards? You mean like a club foot or something? Backwards? Like turned all the way around? You're just really sore, yeah? Oh, thanks, Pam. Sometimes I feel like I'm a terrible mother. So I really lose my patience sometimes. Like, I'll give you an example, okay? Since we're here and it's like well into the live and like nobody's gonna hear this. I'll tell you my problem. Get into the swim team. Oh my God. You can't rely on him. Like, he'll do things when he wants. Yeah, he should go swimming. I don't know. I had him in swimming when he was younger, but I wouldn't put him on a team because he's liable to not show up like half the time. Like, he's in a band, and it's like he better show up because they're going to need him to perform. He doesn't even show up, you know? He'll still do the show, but I hope he's ready. But yeah, the other day, okay, Aaron had an emergency because the little sticky strips that he uses on his catheter, he ran out. All the other stuff he had, but these ones, they don't give so many at a time. He was running out, and I ordered them, but a week later they still hadn't come in. They're on back order, And I was like, Aaron, how could you wait so long, you know? And I felt bad. Like I should have been keeping track of his supplies. I should have known that he was running low. I really need to like be more on the ball with that. But anyway, I ordered it, and then a week later, like he completely ran out and they still hadn't come in. So I started calling around to all the orthopedics places trying to find stickies, as we call them. And this one place says they have them, but they're like in this industrial area at a warehouse. So I pay for it with my credit card on the phone and I go to pick it up. The problem was Gunnar was supposed to be at school. I was supposed to go pick up Aaron's thing, also go to the thrift store for him to find him a shirt because I still haven't found. And then I was supposed to go see my mother and, you know, maybe take her out or do whatever and bring her t-shirts that I had bought her. And the problem was Gunnar didn't go to school that morning and he was in a really bad mood. And I don't like to leave him alone when he's in a really bad mood. Like I don't feel comfortable about it. He was, you know, like autistic kids, teenagers, when they get in a bad mood, it can be kind of, it's a bit extra, you know? So I was so frustrated. He was like sitting on the couch and I was trying to get him off and he just wouldn't get up. And he had gone like nonverbal. Like when he's really, really stressed, he shuts down and he can't even talk. And I know that he's not doing it on purpose, but I was just so like, oh my God, like I have to go get this for Aaron. He needs it for his system. I have to go, but I can't leave you here. And I mean, my mom, her t-shirts could wait, but this thing with Aaron, it can't wait. It's an emergency and it's far too. It would probably take me like an hour to go and come back, at least maybe an hour and a half. And what am I supposed to do? Like he has to come with me. He's got to do what I'm asking him to do. And he would just not, he wouldn't get up off the couch and he wouldn't answer. And I'm like trying everything, you know, like you can say, well, if you go, I'm going to get you some Wendy's, but it didn't work. Well, if you don't go, then I'm going to, you know, make threats and promises. It doesn't work. Try to tell him like, listen, your dad really needs this. I have to go and get it. And I'm not leaving you here. That didn't work. Telling him like, listen, I'm super stressed because you're not talking and I don't know how I'm going to get this done and I have to get it done today. I was between a rock and hard place and I just like snapped, like I yelled at him and that just made it worse, you know? And yeah, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes I feel like there's like things pushing on me from all sides and all these people need different things. It's not always like that where it's their needs are competing with each other, but sometimes it's like that. And it used to be like that a lot more when Gunnar was younger. Like my mother needs me to go and give her a shower and Gunnar is giving me behavior and I need to bring him with me because I'm homeschooling. So you imagine you're bringing your autistic like 10-year-old to when you go take care of your mother who has Alzheimer's and he doesn't want to be there. And I mean, you can imagine, you know? So it's generally better now, but sometimes what would happen if I left him alone? You know, I was really afraid for his safety. Let's just put it that way. I don't know what would happen. I was afraid that he might get hurt, you know. I just can't leave him alone when he's like that because he's not in his right mind. He was totally shut down. He wasn't talking. How could I leave him alone? I leave him alone all the time when he's okay, you know, but when he's like in kind of a shutdown, I don't feel good about it. It really scares me when he's like that. I feel like I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know how I do it. I do that. I just take care of people. I can't also make videos at the same time. Sometimes it's really just not possible. That's why I come on here and ramble and do lives. But yeah, it is hard sometimes, like a lot, you know. The hardest thing is when more than one person needs something from you urgently and you're supposed to be in like two places at the same time. It's really hard to deal with. And Gunnar, yeah, he's had a lot of trouble with school. He's missed so much. I told you before, he missed 6 weeks in the second session. And the third session, he was coming in halfway through the day. I couldn't get up in the morning and do the whole morning thing and drive him there in the morning anymore. I was like completely burnt out. I couldn't do it. And then because of my surgery, they gave us a taxi. But I have a hard time. Put the oxygen mask on your face first. What triggered him? I think just me asking him to do something that he didn't want to do. Wait, I'm not really sure. He didn't want to go to school. I think it was because, I don't know. I think he was just feeling bad. I think he just wasn't feeling good. He hasn't been eating very much lately. Like he's like not eating a lot of the time. And I don't know. He just wasn't feeling good. And I think his legs were hurting him. And he didn't feel like he could go to school. But I think he was upset about the fact that he wasn't feeling good. And then when I said, okay, well, you don't have to go to school. I mean, I can't make you go. If you're not going to go, you're not going to go. But then he said, well, I could just come with you and do what you're doing. And I was like, okay, you could do that. But then he just didn't get off the couch. And then I was like, okay, well, let's go. And oh my God, it was really stressful. Last night, what triggered him was he launched into video games at 11. And I said, you can't be doing that. You have to be off all the media at 11 because you need to go to bed. And you know that. And well, thanks, Pam. I turned off. I rode his ass. I was like, you need to get off it. You need to get off it. Finally, he did get out of the game, and I turned off the machine. And no, it's not something with the other kids at school. No, he would tell me. Like, he's open with me. He tells me things. It's about his legs and like his health. He's really upset about it. So I made him get off the video game, and then he wanted to talk to his girlfriend on the phone. And he went straight into the bedroom, and I kept hearing the phone do 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 do. And I was like, and I turned off all the lights, and I was like, okay, he's in bed. That was good. And I realized that he had his phone in the bed, and he was going to talk to her. And I didn't think that was a good idea. Well, I heard it going off, and I was like, where's your phone? It's making a lot of noise. I'm going to have to find your phone and turn off the sounds. And then I heard him like standing up and like acting like, oh, I just found it, and it's here, and I'm plugging it in. But I knew that the reason he was finally cooperative and went to bed was because he was going to sneak a phone call with his girlfriend. And I said, listen, you can't be on the phone now. I'm going to take that phone, and we're going to put it here on the charger. And that's all I did. But then he wouldn't sleep, and he was really like kicking up, you know. And he doesn't say anything. He doesn't like say you this and that and blah. He doesn't like argue. He doesn't sass me. He just shuts down and like stomps around the apartment and like just acts really weird. It's just like autism stuff. But what it was he was trying to do what I was asking him, but the fact that this was happening on my terms, not his, was just, he couldn't handle it. He has to have, everything has to be on his terms. It's really a problem. He can do a lot of things, but yeah, when it's on his terms, anytime it's somebody else putting a demand on him, it's like, it makes him uncomfortable and he can't handle it, you know? So, I was really frustrated. It was really late, and I realized, oh my God, now we're going to be up till 1 a.m. And I knew, I was in my head, I was like, I need to just lay off him, or it's going to be 2 or 3. And he was like, you should have just let me do what I wanted to do. And I was like, you wanted to play video games at like midnight. How can I let you do that? But the thing is, if I'm forceful and I make him stop, what happens is he'll have these like horrible like outbursts where he'll just sort of shut down, and he'll just like sort of stomp around, and he just becomes really uncomfortable, and he just can't cope with it. And that's a problem that he has, that he needs to learn how to manage that, or he's not going to do very well in life, you know? You cannot dominate him out of it. You can't be like, well, this is the rule and this and that. If you talk to him like that, it just makes it worse. Then you'll be up till 3 or 4. And he can even like get injured, you know, if he gets upset like that. Not by me, but by himself. So I have to be careful. It's really not like something he does on purpose. Nobody would do this on purpose. Why? He's had so many consequences from it. I know Pam, like you say, it looks like he takes advantage of me. I know everybody always feels like it's intentional and it's manipulative and it's like disrespectful, and they always feel like, you know, it's personal, but I don't think it is, because no matter what, like no matter how, the consequences on him have been absolutely severe. He had no friends through his childhood, no birthdays, like he was not included anywhere because he was moved schools every year, and every school he went to he was like that, but like all the time he had to have a shadow like all day. No child in their right mind who has a choice would act like that. Why? He was completely excluded, like all the other parents wanted nothing to do with us. The schools would like shuffle him off. He would repeatedly lose his friends. I got kicked out of school once when I was 4, and my parents were like, it's because of your behavior and this is your last chance. And I was really careful not to act like that anymore. Like I was able to stop what I was doing, but apparently he's not, because this has been going on forever. And right now the school, he needed more help. Like he should have had maybe a tutor, but the thing is, he's had tutors before and they get frustrated because he won't do what they're asking. Like you cannot, like, it's called demand avoidance, pathological demand avoidance. You just can't make him do anything. But he needed more help, not less. And at the school he's at, it's a bit ghetto, and they don't even have textbooks. And they will put some, they have like these sort of outlines, course outlines, and they'll put them online. But you really need more. Like if you miss the lecture, you don't know really what the outline means. It's just like a skeleton of whatever, of the information. So if you miss the lecture, you're kind of screwed, and there's no textbook. So like, for example, I have a friend who has a daughter who had developed a severe anxiety disorder. She hasn't been at school, but she has a textbook for each class. So with the stuff that's online and the fact that the school provided a tutor to help her stay on top of it, and the fact she has a textbook, with that, she's able to stay on top of her schoolwork. He has no tutor. So they're like, yeah, it's all online. They know very well that he'll never do any of it on his own. He needs somebody to facilitate everything. He doesn't have the, like, he's not organized enough in his own self to do it. So that means that I have to be the tutor. So they're basically like, well, you know, if he's not here at school, you do it. You know, like you have to, well, how am I supposed to tutor him with all the other stuff I do? And without a textbook. So I used to try, like when he was younger, I used to like bust my ass to try to keep him up to speed. But at this point, I'm so burnt out. So when they told me that, I was like, yeah, well, it's what's online. It's not enough. And it's not like, it doesn't, he's almost 16, Dusty. What's online is not enough for me to catch up what you guys are not able to do with him at school. And I don't have a textbook. So when I was homeschooling, they gave me textbooks. So that made a difference. But without the book, so this ghetto school, there's no textbook, there's no tutor, there's no support, and their solution is to threaten to throw him out of the autism program for next year. They're like, well, if he's not here, yeah, he's 15, he's almost 16. In June he'll be 16. So they said to me, if he's not here and he's not doing his work, we're not going to readmit him to the program. So it's like, if he needs more help, he gets less. They're going to do what everyone else did, is send him somewhere else. I was so upset to hear that. I was like, you're not serious. This is what happens so many times. Don't give up on him. If you send him to like they were like, well, we might just keep him in a regular class in the school. He can't be in a regular class. He doesn't have the wherewithal to like do the stuff himself. He's not independent. I know he looks normal, but he doesn't have the independence. My friend at the better school, she has the book and they give her a tutor and they give her all that support. And so she's actually managing. And my son in his school, which is so underfunded, he needs more help. Their solution is he's a waste of time. We're going to kick him out of the program. They said, we'd rather give the place to someone who's going to use the resources. Well, there you have it. That's the story. So that's what happened. A learning and life skills class. Well, Gunnar is like academically capable. I mean, it's really good to have learning and life skills class, something that teaches you day-to-day stuff. That it is good to have those skills. It definitely helps. But Gunnar, like, he kind of knows what to do, like, for the most part. It seems like it. Like, he's not. It's more like this serious like avoidance problem. Anyway. And it's also like he can't like get himself on the task and keep himself, and I have to coach him all the time, you know. But it was like he knows how to dress himself, but I end up having to coach him because he'll just wander off. Like he's supposed to go in there and put his clothes on, but he goes this way and he goes right out the other door. It's like a fish in a fishbowl. He just like walks around the apartment. I'm like, no, you got to go this way. Go brush your teeth, and no, he's off this way, you know. He needs to be like redirected. He is brilliant. Yeah. He's really smart and he's really good in some subjects, so I couldn't believe they said that. Give it to someone who's going to use the resources. Very disappointing. So anyway, we're dealing with that. So yeah, he's very good with the music, but what's it, oh my God, for Pam? Yeah, they're thinking of like kicking him out of the autism program. The last thing he needs. It's almost like a death sentence for his academic, you know, trajectory. He'll probably drop out if that happens, unless I homeschool him, and I don't know if I want to do that, but it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good right now. It's so crappy. Like, people think like if you have a kid with special needs, there's going to be all these all the support and resources, and I mean there is some, but the problem is if you have special needs but you're very cooperative, people will deal with you, but if you're like Gunner, like he just doesn't cooperate. He just shuts down. Like when you want him to do something, he'll shut right down, and nobody wants to deal with it. And that's who he is. That's what he is. That's how he is. It's not gonna just go away. So it's kind of weird. He's like a combination of like very talented and very intelligent, very funny, even good looking, and yet he has this problem, you know? Remedial class. Yeah. Yeah, people have different learning styles. No, he doesn't take any lessons. He's never taken all the music he learned, it's all himself. He doesn't do well with other people at all. Oh my god. I signed him up for drum lessons once. I spent so much money on it. You guys are going to be like, oh, if I tell you the amount that the course costs. It was $3,600 for this drum course, okay? And he did the first lesson, it was online at the time. First one was okay. The second one, he was a little less like cooperative. The third one, it was harder to keep him doing it. The fourth one, he was like hiding and he wouldn't do it. And he had like a freaking meltdown. He did 4 lessons and he just wouldn't do it. Like he will not do what anybody tells him to do. But it's not like a rebellious thing. It's more like a pathological thing. I encourage him to study theory. Cajun, you cannot encourage him to study anything. You can't encourage him, or there's very little you can do. He just does his own thing, like 100%. Like he really just does. Luckily, his interests are things like music and history and not, logging the weather all day. He will do his own thing. He will sit there for like 6 or 8 hours and study guitar on his own. I did tell him if he wants to study music in CJEP, he's going to need a little bit of like formal instruction to learn theory and stuff. I kind of suggested it, but you have to be very careful. What's his girlfriend like? Well, this one, she doesn't live here. She lives on the West Coast. She's young. I don't know. I don't really know very much about her. She's native. I know that. And she's like, she lives on the West Coast with her parents. I think they have fun together. She has a good sense of humor, and yeah, you have a daughter who's similar. Yeah, it's tricky because you see this person and you're like, well, if you would only take a little bit of instruction or guidance or like do what people tell you, then you could have such an easier life. And yet, no, it's like as soon as there's a demand, he just like locks down. That's why. But it's weird because although there's this problem, but I see this slow progress. Like now he always takes his clothes and puts them in the laundry basket, and he brings his dishes in the kitchen. He'll do like little things like that. And I think that once one of them becomes automatic and it no longer feels like a demand, it's very easy. Then then another one. And the other day he got up and he made his bed. I didn't tell him to make his bed. He just made his bed, got himself dressed, and drank his protein shake and like did his exercise. He's really into exercise too. That's the other thing. So now he's like into physiology. I can't make him realize, Cajun. I'm telling you, like you'd have to see it. Nobody understands. Like people are like, well, I would just do this or I would show him that, and it's like, well, no, you have not dealt with a person like this. Well, he spent the night with Aaron. Yeah, and you know what? The thing was, like, he was into that for a little bit because of the novelty, but he spent 2 weeks there and then he refused to go back. Aaron wasn't happy either. He just was like, no, I'm not going back. He just came back here. He didn't want to do it anymore. It's not because he didn't want to see Aaron, it's just because my place is a lot more comfortable. Yeah, there's progress. It's slow, but yeah, theory, I'm sure he could figure it out. If he wants to, he'll look it up and he'll figure it out. But if I tell him you should look at theory or whatever, and I might actually completely jinx it. If I put my input, it's kind of like that whole, like the observer changes the experiment. Like if I put my input or my presence, then he might like not do it because now somebody else wants him to do it, Yeah, no, he wouldn't go back to Aaron's place. And Aaron was really upset too. He was like, what the hell? He why doesn't want to come and spend time with me? But he did today though. I don't know. He just came back up here and went back to doing his thing. It's like when something is new, he'll be into it, for a bit. Yeah, he made his bed once. It was a good sign, you know. He did the dishes once too. But yeah, he's really into working out. So I think, you know, that's good. Like he does these pull-ups because he was so out of shape. You guys remember he had fibromyalgia and everything. He does these pull-ups and now he does them with 2 fingers. I actually like took a few pictures of the other morning. Maybe I'll make a post out of it and you can see. Yeah, I figure like keep doing the exercise, keep playing the guitar. I don't write him too much. And most of the time everything is okay, you know. I'm just not happy that the school would threaten us like that and say they're going to kick him out of the program. Does that seem fair? It doesn't seem right to me at all. And I taught in public school at one point, and I know how they are. They are kind of like, they have this mentality that some people are just a waste. It's like you're wasting your resources on them. They'll never amount to anything. And yeah, it sucks. Yeah, that school is lame. But they were all like that with him. Nobody wanted him. Nobody could deal with him. He's really difficult, you guys. I know he looks okay, and he's really sweet and cute and everything, but he's really hard to deal with. Well, he's great as long as you don't ask him to do anything, ever. As long as everything's on his terms. And like I said, he's not like mean or sassy or bitchy about it. He's just like if he's motivated, he'll go from point A to point B. If he's not, he'll go around in circles like a fishbowl. And I'll be like, out the door, and then he goes this way, and then he goes back this way again. I'm like, where are you going, you know? You have to go back to work? What, you work the night shift? Yeah, sometimes I thought, like, I could make certainly more videos about raising an autistic teenager. I mean, I probably, like, I've learned a lot from raising him and with his particular type of profile, and I know that when Gunnar was younger, I would look for videos from people who were raising a child with this behavior profile on the autism spectrum because I needed to hear what they had dealt with and how they did it, you know? So I kind of feel like it would be a service if I put stuff out, you know? But I just feel like, well, the way YouTube is these days, the only people who see my videos are people who are already subscribed. So it's like, what's the point? Nobody's going to see it, you know? Oh, no, wait. You work the night shift and then you work the day shift? Oh, you're on a swing shift? Oh, well, that's got to be tough. Yeah, I think I've done pretty well with him. I mean, if I hadn't parented him the way that I did, which was, yeah, like I definitely put his needs first and whatever. I think he could have become a very maladjusted, angry little person, you know. But he's not. He's still like pretty. He's okay, but he's feeling very sorry for himself lately because of all his injuries, you know. And it all stems from the first knee injury, or maybe it's just has some problem with his joints. I'm like concerned about him because like he's not eating. He lost a lot of weight, and I mean, yes, he's exercising, but he's also like just refusing to eat now. Like I'll make him breakfast, he won't eat it. I'll make him lunch, he comes back like he doesn't eat. He ate dinner, but yeah, he'll eat sometimes. Then he'll want to eat right when I put him to bed. But yeah, I don't know. He used to eat more. It's like he lost his appetite. Yeah, I've been supportive of him, but I'm kind of worn out sometimes, honestly. But what can you do? You love your kids, right? Like you love them so much. Maybe juicing, yeah. Maybe I should like maybe make more juice for him. He'd probably be into that. He's on a big health kick, you know. Protein shakes and workouts. He doesn't want to eat any chemicals. He's like really careful now. Yeah. Yeah, he drinks protein shakes, yeah. Yeah, and he does want like more fresh fruits and vegetables, but we have sort of like limited amounts of things, you know. Yeah, you know what, you're right. Yeah, I'm gonna make him a nice strawberry smoothie tonight. I have a NutriBullet. I got it, but then we didn't use it. Maybe I should bring it up. Maybe that'll be a nice hobby for him to use it. Yeah, he even asked me about doing a parasite cleanse. He's kind of like really into being healthy now, which is cool. Yeah, it is hard being a parent of someone with special needs. It's like people don't know, you know. But I have this one friend. She used to judge me, you know. She thought I was like exaggerating, and in the beginning, nobody believed he was autistic, and then there were some people that they just thought I was exaggerating, or that if they were dealing with it, they would do a better job. And over the years, they've come to realize that that's not true. That it really is something difficult. And one of them, her daughter was fine, and she suddenly developed like a severe anxiety disorder, like panic attacks multiple times a day. She can't get to school, so now like her daughter has kind of special needs, right? So now she really understands, and it's like people, oh, okay, good night, Cajun, thanks. Yeah, people will look at you and be like, well, I would do a better job than you, but well, wait till you're in that situation, you'll see, you know. And yeah, for sure, like I have my limitations, like I get tired, and I also like sometimes I'm just like I can't deal with them, you know. I do walk away sometimes. I'm like, okay, fine, do what you want, you know. I just walk away. The most important thing is for me, I think, to not lose my temper. I almost never do. It may be like twice a year I'll lose my shit, you know. I try not to do that because, you know, it's like you have to speak life over your kids, you know, but sometimes it's like it pushes you so far. It's like pushes you to your limit, and you just lose your shit, and you'll say something that you don't want to say. Like you don't mean it, but it's too late. You already said it. And of all the things that you've said, that's the one thing that they'll like hang on to. It's terrible. So that's why sometimes I just have to walk away, and sometimes no, I will not be there. Like, you know, you see these shows like The Strictest Parents in the World, and they're so on the ball, and they'll be so strict, and I don't have it in me, you know. Maybe it's the combination of things, or maybe it's not what he needs anyway. I don't know. Maybe somebody else could do a better job, but they don't have him as their son. It's me who has him. So who knows? But yeah, like occasionally I lose my shit, unfortunately, and I feel terrible about it. Usually I'm telling myself, okay, you're really losing your fucking patience here. And I really try to just practice, like, just accepting the situation. Like, okay, Aaron needs this thing for his catheter, but my son is having a breakdown and I can't leave him alone, but he won't come with me, and I'm sort of screwed. I'm stuck. And then I'm like, well, maybe Aaron just won't have his catheter today. What can I do, right? But it's hard because I want Aaron to have his stuff, you know, and I want my mom to have her stuff too. It's not always like that. It's not always like, most of the time, like I feel like it is very manageable. I think the hardest part of all of this, you know, people think it would be like dealing with Aaron and his stuff. That's fine. Like that's just like a regular job. I just go there, I clean up, I take care of his stuff, and it's just like a normal job. Take care of my mother's easy. I'm not there every day, you know, and it's very relaxing when I'm there. It's Gunner is like, oh my god, you don't think they could, Pam? Yeah. No, it's Gunner. Oh my god, he wears me out. Yeah, I'm still streaming. I'm just like talking to you guys about my kid at this point. Something I haven't talked to you about in a long time. You know, I know somebody's gonna watch it and be like, "Oh, there she is rambling again about nothing." I don't know, man. I'm just telling you the truth. It's hard sometimes with him. It really is. I never tell anybody like what it's really like, but it's really hard. It's the hardest part. Because he's so bloody, like it's like a donkey, like you can't get him to move, you know. Yeah, he's very talented though. I'm proud of him. I'm really proud of him. Oh, I'm gonna have to go now because I'm gonna have to put him to bed, but it was really nice talking to you guys. I am gonna upload my video about the Bud Lighting issue of the overly woke ad campaigns, and they're having, oh hi Heike, nice to see you. It's great to see you guys. I remember a lot of you were like following our trip in Europe, you know. It's 5 a.m. in Germany. No kidding. If I stayed up a couple more hours, maybe I could call my aunt. Oh, yeah, like so they're with these woke campaigns. Like it's actually, I think it's like hurting the gay community more than anything. It's not. I don't think it's helping them. It's making people like hate them. It's sad. It's sad, you know. It's just like totally messed up. What kind of avoidance? It's called pathological demand avoidance. It's a problem where every time there's a demand on you, you respond with a fight or flight reaction. It's like a physical thing. And oh, he was on clonidine for a long time. And my son now, who's on a big health kick, quit the clonidine like months ago. He got off the clonidine in December, but now he has to deal with his fight or flight reaction. It's really like there's something wrong with the mechanism. So when there's a demand, then instead of just having like maybe a little anxiety about it, or I don't know what other people have there, but it becomes like, I don't know, it just triggers a fight or flight reaction, and it triggers a shutdown in his case. You know, he used to run, like literally run, but now he just tends to like shut down, and it's very hard for anybody to deal with. Yeah, you're a little bit like that sometimes. Oh, your son has autism too, Heike. Oh yeah, 6 years? He's only 6 years old. Aw, he's just little. Well, my experience was it did get better as he got older with Gunner, like with the maturity. Well, because the hyperactivity went away, that was a lot better. That was a big change. Your nephew is in. Oh, he's DJing. Oh, that's cool. Do I have AC? I have one, but I have to set it up. It's only just the beginning of June. I didn't think I'd need it already. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like pull the desk out and like set up the AC, but yeah, I have one. And then I'm gonna have to move back in the other room. I've been sleeping in here for like 2 months. I just want Gunnar to be okay, you know what I mean? Like I want him to be well, that's what my mother used to say about me. She's it's crazy, eh? Like when I was growing up, I'd be so resentful. My mother used to say, my hope for you is that one day you'll be functioning. She used to say that, and I used to get really angry. I'd be like, fuck you. Like, how could you say that to me? It's so like, insulting, or it seems like it. But I'm thinking now, like, my hope is that Gunnar will be functional one day. That's exactly the same thing. So then again, I was apparently a lot like him. And I remember, like, it was totally innocent. I wasn't like, okay, good night, Dusty. I wasn't not doing things like out of spite or to get somebody. I don't know, like, I just wasn't able. Like, I wasn't able to direct my mind to the task that the person wanted me to do. I just didn't have control over my own mind. But look, I turned out okay. I'm not like that anymore. So I keep telling myself, just be patient. Maybe he's like you. Because for me, it happened when I was around 21. All of a sudden, it's like I grew a brain. It really just happened like that. And then I was like, God, what was I doing? It was so crazy, So I have to be patient with him. I think he needs like a gentle hand, a gentle touch. And maybe he will, but I really hope that he ends up like me, that it just naturally, like, his brain changes when he's around 21 or so. Because otherwise, I can see why my parents were so desperate with me. They put me in an institution because I was like that. And they were like, this is messed up. Like, she's never going to be functional. I can understand it now. So I'm hoping that it'll get better. Because the way it is right now, it's like, I don't know, man. It's going to sit on the couch a lot. Sit on the couch, play guitar. Yeah. What Pam just said, wow. Oh my God. I have an audio tape of me from when I was like 16. You'd think that I was crazy. Like, I can't even believe, like, I sounded like a different person, and my thinking was so different. So self-centered, and like out to lunch completely. It's like, what? No wonder my parents were concerned. Yeah. Yeah, he's a musician. Yeah, he's probably gonna do something. Like, we keep telling him, like, just take your guitar outside and like put up a Starbucks cup and like, because I think that once he goes out there and like he sees what it's like to just get a few bucks, that it's gonna motivate him to want to learn more songs. But we can't get him to do it, like, because he did. Usually every summer he had a job. He worked for the city, and he worked in the in a camp twice. So he's worked before, but this year he said he wanted to go busking. So we said, okay, but he's not going, I mean, it is early, but he needs to like have some songs ready. What helped me, Pam, I think it just happened organically. I think it was literally a matter of brain development, because the brain develops bottom to top, inside to out, and back to front. And I think what happened was like the frontal lobes were just not developed. And it's like the front of my brain like came online when I was 21, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, like, what happened, And I was like looking back at myself, and I was like, what the hell was I thinking? It was like I literally grew a brain, because nothing else. I mean, I don't know. Did anything else happen? I don't know. I had an encounter with God, but Gunnar has had that already. It's when I got saved, Yeah, my mom wasn't as patient as I am with him. She, like, the when I lose my shit, like a couple times a year, she was like that every day. Well, no, Gunnar, it's not social media. Like, he doesn't even do social media. That's a different kind of crisis. Yeah, they're having crises. Kids are messed up these days. But for Gunnar, it's not social media. He was just born like that, you know. I'm an overachiever. I think I did okay for somebody who's as messed up as I am. And it turned out not too bad, you know. I have a roof over my head. But yeah, it's at this point with Gunnar where you know, like I guess the stakes are higher when they're a bit older, and I think that what I'm mostly discouraged about is the fact that school was like threatening to like kick him out of the autism program. I was like, oh my god, that's terrible. Then I have to like rely on my faith that, you know, it's gonna be okay, and I do that for me. Like something doesn't go my way, and I'll be like, okay, it's not part of God's plan. But with my son, sometimes I'm like, well, God, like do something. I want something good to happen to him, you know. What? What, Pam? No way she wasn't. Yeah, my mom used to lose her shit on me like every day. You didn't know that? Yeah, she was very frustrated with me when I was little. She used to say a lot of mean things. She was just, you know, she was trying to like be disciplinarian, but she was just losing her shit a lot. She wasn't very like patient with me. But I had a very nice nanny. Like my mom didn't raise me entirely by herself. I got a nanny when I was about, I guess about 6 or so. No, actually she got the nanny when my brother was born, so I was 2. She was the most amazing woman. The nanny was more like a mother figure, like a real mother. My mom was like the fun person, and she's a super cool person, but my nanny was the one who was loving, who was like a source of comfort that I felt safe with. That was my nanny. Her name was Mrs. Hoffman, and I called her Huffy. I used to write to her up until like recently, but I don't know what happened to her. She must be in her 90s now. I hope she's okay. I don't know. I lost touch with her. What? What, Pam? What are you saying that for? Well, no, my dad was always working, right? And my mom was alone with 2 kids. One of them was like autistic. Well, that's me. Nobody knew that at the time. Everyone just said it's a difficult child, but really difficult. And she had no support and she had no help, and like nobody knew what was wrong with me. Everybody kept saying something like there's something wrong. My mother used to say, "What's wrong with you?" And she was like, "When are you going to be normal?" She would literally say that to me all the time. When are you going to be like other girls? She'd say it to me all the time. But she didn't have any help, you know, and they didn't know what to do. They ended up spending a lot of money later. But when I was 7, he was like a neurosurgeon, a brain surgeon, and a psychoanalyst. He told my parents that I should be institutionalized at 7, and it was my mother who said I couldn't do it. My mother like didn't. So you know, I'm grateful because apparently I was really a handful, like really bad, and my my mother refused to institutionalize me. So it's not like she was a bad mother, but she had a hard time with me. I mean, it was not easy. I think her expectations were a little high. Like if she had just like accepted that I wasn't normal and I wasn't functional and just left me to it, it would have probably been a lot easier. Maybe my self-esteem would have been more intact. But at least she didn't put me in an institution. Well, not until I was 16, you know, but they didn't put me away. They were told like in the 70s, like put her away. Like that's what they did with autistic kids. Put them away and leave them there forever, you know? So thank God they didn't do that. Yeah, the nanny was really great. She was so sweet. She was like a totally different kind of person. My mom was like an Instagram girl, you know what I mean? Like very glamorous, and she was like that kind, you know, like everything's perfect. She was a lot of fun, but yeah, she's like a fun person and a fashionable and glamorous, but not a warm person, you know. She's caring though, but in her own way, like her way of caring. She's always thinking of other people and what they need, but it was like, you know, do you have the clothes that you need? Do you have the boots that you need? You know, she would make us nice food, but she didn't know how to like care for us emotionally, you know. That's just something she didn't know, right? My mom's doing okay, but I mean, I have a good relationship with my mom, you know. Yeah, thank God my mom didn't put me away. Yeah, my mom was like not empathetic, you know, like if something happened, like she wouldn't be like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, like it's not the kind of person that you could come to and she'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, and like give you hugs, and you know, like if I would get hurt, she'd just be like, stop crying, you know. This is like that kind of 1970s childhood, like you come in and bleeding, and you're like, oh, what did you do now? You know, stop crying. It was kind of like that, you know, or something bad happened, she'd be like, well, you shouldn't have been there, that wouldn't have happened, and you know, there was no empathy, you know. So I don't want to be like that. But I understand why she did it. It wasn't because she was mean. It was just because like, you know, parents don't like when their kids like get hurt or do stupid things that put them in bad situations, or when bad things happen, and they're I think that they're like angry that they don't have control over like protecting their kids all the time, and so sometimes they'll say something like, well, you know, I don't know, like what could happen, like something bad that happens, like I don't know, you got bullied or something, and they'd be like, well, it's because you don't know how to stand up for yourself, or you shouldn't have been there after school when there was nobody supervising and it wouldn't have happened, you know. It's because I think they're just trying to find a way that they want to control the situation so it doesn't happen again, but it comes across like really jerky, you know. I understand my mom, like I understand the way she is, you know, and her culture was different, you know. But my nanny was like all super warm and cuddly and just the sweetest person in the world. She was so nice. She was just like not judgmental and just so loving, you know. So it was really cool. My mom like got this. She did get help, but she had to pay for it, you know. So it was a good thing that we had Huffy. My mom is doing okay. Like she's still pretty much going strong, you know, despite her issues. Yeah, you know, like we've had our times that were difficult, you know, like she had a hard time raising me, and then I was very angry at her for a long time and like blamed her for all my problems. But then when I had my son, I was like, oh, now I get it. Now I understand why she was so frustrated. And then I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like it's water under the bridge. I'm not blaming you anymore. Like seriously, when I had my son, I understood. And I just totally like forgave everything. I was like, oh my God, I was like this. Oh my God, no wonder you were so fed up, you know? Oh, I must have driven her absolutely insane. But I was selfish and I couldn't understand how I was affecting her, you know? But once I had a son that was like that, I was like, oh my God, yeah. It like just wears you out. When you're with a child that's like super uncooperative, like 24/7. So it was all good after that. We're just like best friends, you know? It's fine. NutriBullet, yes, I'm gonna have to do that. No, my mom's definitely not on the spectrum. No, absolutely not. She is not. She has certain like weird personality traits, but no, she's not at all. She's very, very like in tune with other people's emotions. She has all that reciprocity. She has it. She just didn't, you know, you can have all this reciprocity with other people, but yet not, I don't know. It was just her parenting style. No, my mom was quirky. Like she had a quirky sense of humor, and she had some funny things about her, but not autistic. No way. Mm-mm. I don't think so. You know. No, but my mother was always very popular. You know how like you have the popular girls at school, the cheerleaders, like that was my mom. That's not an autistic person. My mom was the leader. She was the popular girl. She was very ambitious. She was the most popular, the best dressed, the most beautiful. She wanted to marry the richest man. You know what I'm saying? She had the career as a stewardess, like the most glamorous. She was very, very ambitious, you know? And like I said, very popular, very successful. She was a stewardess. She had a boutique here in Montreal on Crescent Street. The name of my Poshmark store, Elga's Bazaar, that's named in honor of her boutique that she had. So not an autistic person, you know. Usually the autistic person is not like that super like, you know, super popular, the mean girl, you know, that my mom was like that kind of person. Yeah, I think she just, you know, I think the problem with my mom was that when I was born, my father made her quit working, and my mom enjoyed working, and she liked to do her own thing, and she liked to be able to travel because she was a stewardess, and she would do 1 or 2 like overseas flights a week, and my father made her quit, and that was a product of the times because I was born in 1971. Craft life, yeah, I think a little bit. Not anymore though. It was more like when she was younger, like she had to be the center of attention a lot. I told you she's an Instagram girl, man. If my mom had been born in like the 90s, she would have been a total Instagram queen. Always like the best dress with all the stuff, and she was totally like that, the opposite of me, you know. Yeah. But he made her quit her job, and I think that she never really got over it. She wanted to be a stewardess. She loved it. It was glamorous at the time, and she loved the travel. I think she loved the freedom. And he tried to make her into like a housewife, and she just wasn't cut out for it. John, no, I've never done that. I don't do drugs. And I think she was really frustrated. She didn't have anything to like, you know, express herself, and you know, who she did like sculpture and painting, and she had hobbies. But my mother was like, she would have been like a career woman, you know. I mean, imagine she owned a boutique on very prestigious Sherbrooke Street, like a very high-end boutique. She was actually, here I am talking for like way too long again. She was a stewardess, right? And she was a big fashionista. And she noticed that in Europe, they had like copies of designer clothes, right? Whereas here, if you wanted a Chanel suit, you had to buy an actual Chanel suit. Whereas in England, they had Chanel style suits. Before that, nobody did this. Like people here wore like, you know, you had regular peasant clothes, and if you wanted something that looked designer, you had to actually buy the designer label. So what my mother did was she noticed that in Europe, they had like designer style clothes. So she would buy those and bring them over here. Pucci, Chanel, you know, like these big names, right? She would bring this stuff over here and she would sell it in her boutique, and it was very successful. And then there was a fire, and she just collected the insurance, and she didn't reopen it. But she had done all that. She was importing clothes from Europe. My mother was like a businesswoman. She originally wanted to be a doctor, and her father said, "Oh, it's a waste to educate it's a waste to educate a girl. You'll marry the first guy you meet." So she wanted to be a doctor. Then she became a stewardess, and she owned a business. And then my father made her quit when she gave birth to me. And I think my mother couldn't handle it, you know. She wasn't really cut out for that. She should have been doing her business and just, you know, maybe left us with the nanny more. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't like that she treated me like that too, but she was going through her own stuff, you know. Whatever it was that she was going through. But I did not understand until I had my son. But because I knew that I was like that, and I knew how my mother treated me, she was very authoritarian and really harsh sometimes. I knew that it was the wrong approach. I knew that my mother would try to muscle me into the good behavior. It was very strict. It was like, I had jobs. You had to set the table. You had to be up at this time. You had to, you know, do the ironing. I had to do the cleaning. I had to do the vacuuming. There's no getting out of it. She had expectations. If I didn't meet them, oops. Oh, hey, you guys still there? Sorry, it cut out for a second. Yeah, my mom had like very specific expectations. And she was like, she demanded that I meet them, right? And she'd get really upset if I didn't. And she didn't. And then like if I was arguing, or I was like, you know, if I wasn't cooperative, like it was really like, I'm the parent, you're the child, like shut up and do as I tell you. And it was just, you know, it was just this kind of authoritarian parenting. But so because she was like that, I knew that doesn't work with this kind of person. Yeah, see, Pam, it was a blessing in a way, because when I had my son, a lot of people were telling me, spank him, have charts, have rewards, like run it like a, you know, like a boot camp. But I knew that that's not right, because my mother did that with me. She ran a tight ship, but it didn't work, you know. It wasn't what I needed. I just needed to be sort of left alone. I could have used more leeway, you know. And so I saw that with my son, and I realized like, I'm not going to be like that. And I want to be loving and supportive and support what he wants. Because whatever I wanted to do, like if I had interest in something and I'd say, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that, they'd say to me, that will never work. Like it's too competitive, you'll never make money, like whatever, because I was always an artistic person, so it was like everything that I suggested that I wanted to do, they would tell me like forget about it, just go to secretarial school. So I told myself I don't want to be like that with my son, so that's why I just let him play music. I don't ride his ass about, you know, a lot of things. And I think because of that he's more like emotionally healthy than I was, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to really learn from how they raised me, and I know the way I raise him, it's not typical, it's very unusual, like it's very like open-ended, you know. It's a bit like the radical unschooling, like I'm very hands off with him. Well, there's some structure, yeah, there, it's not like it's a free-for-all, but it's relatively, you know, it's quite free, you know. Like I don't say anything if he swears, and like I never, there are other things that he, you know, like there are limits, there are certain things that he wouldn't be allowed to say, or certain swear words that he wouldn't be allowed to say, he doesn't say them, but it's not to the point where like if he says shit or something that I'll be like, oh Gunnar, don't say that. I'll give him a pass with a couple of them, but the other ones, like those, he won't say them. So he does respect the limits, you know. You're the same way with your daughter? Yeah. Yeah, so I never bother him about what he wears. Like he wears this hat every day, like this Peruvian hat, and he would wear the exact same flannel shirt every single day, and he'd wear the same hat. And I was, you know, I had a few times said like, well, Gunnar, you know, we do have other shirts, you could wear a different one, but he didn't want to, so I just left him alone. But with the hat, I didn't say much until now because it's so hot. It's like 30 degrees, and he's still wearing this hat like 24 hours a day. He like takes it off when he like lies down in bed, and he puts it on first thing in the morning. It's so autistic, you know. But I don't want to like ride his ass and, you know, tell him it's weird, or, you know. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being so supportive, because I don't know, man. I'm not. Yeah, it's like his Aspie uniform. He wears it every day. It's like a security blanket. It's like me with my little charm that I wear around my neck, and my, like, sometimes wear my jewelry. Like if I don't have it on, I feel like I'm missing something, you know. But yeah, I figure God has a plan, and I just hope that the plan for Gunner's life doesn't involve like a lot of hardship, you know, because he's my kid. But it's hard sometimes. I have to like accept, like, maybe the school is gonna do that. Maybe they're not gonna take him, and maybe he is gonna drop out. I don't know. I want him to have an easier life than I did, though. You know, that's why like it's sort of, it's upsetting to me. But I don't want to be in like a battle with the school about it. I feel like it's not worth it. Because I got angry. I was like, I'm gonna contact my friends who are in the media, who work in media, and I'm gonna tell my story in the media and make the whole school board look terrible. But I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. It depends what they do. There's a part of me that wants to get in a battle with them. Yeah, he's like the South Park kids. He always has a hat. There's a part of me that wants to get in a battle, and there's another part that's like, well, maybe God is doing something, you know. Anyway, I really got to go now because I got to put that peanut to bed. But it was really great to see you guys. And yes, I'll have my video out on, what? Today's Thursday? I guess I'll post it on Saturday. Hopefully. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, you guys. I love you. Oh, hey, Justin. Hi. You and me, we have to get together soon, though. We really do. When I have a bit of time, we're gonna get that done. Yeah, the peanut, my big peanut. Oh yeah, and I gave him the money from the last live that you guys, well, yeah, love, you gave him the tip, right? I gave it to him. Yeah. Oh, hey, Robin, you're there. Okay, I thought you were gone. I've been talking for so long. Well, anyone who like comes to Montreal, like, let me know. But listen, I'm not telling you this to like, give me your dollars on my Patreon. Like, give me your dollars. But I do have a Patreon where, yes, just give me $1. And you can stay in touch with me, because if you are going to come to Montreal, if you want to reach me, it's the best place to reach me, because you can message me on Facebook, but I check my messages like once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks. So if you want to message me, please join my Patreon. so we can stay in touch. And if you come to Montreal, let me know. We will meet up. Okay, good night, everybody. Good night, Veg Remedy and Heike and Love. Okay, thanks for joining me, you guys. Have a good night. I'll see you soon. Bye.